As not only have I won 12 of my last 15, I've won 55 of my last 80 as well, plus 97.6 units. And I know the back. Ohio University, we're representing them on the program today. I've gotten both MAC weekday picks correct since the last 2 weeks here on the show. Let's try to make it 3 in a row here. This is an important game in the Mid-American Conference, guys. Miami, Ohio, they're part of the three-way tie for first. Northern Illinois, surprisingly, not part of that three-way first place tie, guys. Despite the fact we all remember what they did back in September, they go to South Bend, Indiana. They upset Notre Dame as 28-point underdogs. That was a 3% client play for me. So this is very much a last gasp for NIU to get back into this conference race. They have to be very disappointed where they're at. But let's look at these losses for Northern Illinois, guys. All 4 losses this season have been by 7 points or less. 3 of those, they finished with the edge in total yards. I think tonight is going to be a redemption game, if you will, for Thomas Hammock's team. Quarterback Ethan Hampton, he got hurt in the loss for Toledo. Well, he's back now for the Huskies, and this offense is humming. 7.2 yards per play over the last 2 weeks in a pair of double-digit victories. I did fade Northern Illinois last week, guys, client play at home versus Akron, but they were double-digit favorites. Prez, you and I just talked about not wanting to lay double digits. Well, I didn't want to lay double digits with Northern Illinois for a multitude of reasons last week. One of them, that game was being played in a monsoon. Now, I was a little lucky to cover with Akron because they blocked a punt and returned that for a touchdown. Total yards in that game were 439, 255 in favor of NIU, but I did get the cover with Akron. But remember the week previous, I came on this show, Prez, I said to take Northern Illinois as a short road favorite at Western Michigan. A commenter called that play dog poop. The play was not dog poop. Northern Illinois won the game 42-28. Their defense is not just the best in the MAC, guys. It's top 10 in the country. Yards per play, yards per game allowed. Miami's offense is not as good. Miami trailed Kent State last week. They were the first team all season to trail Kent State in a game. Granted, it was only 7-0. Miami had trouble beating Ball State by margin the week prior, though. I expect an outright victory for Northern Illinois, guys. I will take the points. This is a 3% client play for yours truly.
And it's interesting, Brian, because you said an outright victory for the 2-point dog here. And I was going to ask you, when you get a line below that key number of 3, do you ever, with favorites or underdogs, just play the money line instead? I personally think +2 is a better number than +105, which is the current money line. So I would agree with you there. There's been a lot of talk recently. I know Ralph Michaels has run some numbers on it. With favorites of the 1 to 2 range, you should play the money line instead. I'm kind of old school. I usually play money line with underdogs only, just lay the points. So your thoughts on that in general? And also, I know we say don't tease college football, but this total is only 43 tonight. Northern Illinois might not be the worst teaser in the world from +2 up to +8 as well.
Sure. Look, in the NFL, and I defended this on Twitter, my 5% play, right before you came on, Steve, Prez and I were talking about taking the Bills on Sunday. I played the Bills on the money line Sunday.
So did I.
And I defended that decision. Go back. Obviously, most of our viewers watched that game. What was the margin? Most of the game, it was 2. And then in that last drive, I mean, my God, Prez, if we would, I know how you are at the end of games. I'm the same way.
I was freaking out.
If we would have been laying 2.5 and Kansas City had the ball down 9, Mahomes, I mean, I would have been rolling on the ground even faster than I already was. So, it's funny, Steve, your point is well taken about maybe leaning to the underdogs in these situations. But I think sometimes, as we saw Sunday, even though they wound up winning by 9, Buffalo, I do think there's value playing both favorites and underdogs in the money line. It's a situational thing, right? There's no golden rule. I think you can't paint with one broad stroke across these games. In this instance, if you wanted to take NIU money line, I wouldn't fault you. I do think they are due to win a close game. I mentioned all those close losses they've had. Certainly, I think they're due to win one close, and this could be that.